Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. This is the bar chart, the weekly bar chart rather. It goes back several years. We are still below 111.64, holding below 111.64, 9-month channel bottom. We'll keep 80.75 in reach over the next couple of months or sooner. That is the big picture play. And on the daily chart, that 111.64 comes in at 111.36, hence the level you see here on the far right. And that is also a part of a range now up to 113.45 you can see here in the upper right. That is a 3-month descending channel top on the daily chart. This zone able to contain buying through the month of May. And from here, if we test it, and we're coming very close to it, from here we can fall back into the low 80s within 1 to 2 months or sooner. Let's work downside today on that note. And we've got 105.73. Solid intraday support level is the low of the high that was put out last Friday. It has downward pivot point qualities. It can, though, contain intraday selling, and above which the 111.36 level in reach, part of a range, once again, up to 113.45 that may contain buying through the month of May, and below which selling pressures should yield the low 80s over the next month or two. If we happen to break 105.73, 100.33 is in reach today, former descending channel top, well suited to contain daily selling pressures. But after having come rally back up to test long-term resistance and then closing below 105.73 today, I think we've got a good high for the week, and we should then unwind over the next couple of weeks, possibly by the end of next week, to 92.97. 92.97 is a newly formed descending channel bottom on the daily chart that is well suited to contain selling pressures on a weekly basis. In fact, if you've got a 2 to 3 week swing trade, if you like to trade the 2 to 3 week time horizon, it is selling 111.36 up to 113.45 and holding out for that 92.97 descending channel bottom as an objective. And if we were to close today below 105.73, I think you only have to hold out for a week or two. So you're either selling on strength, 2 to 3 week swing traders at 111.36, or you could sell on weakness with a settlement below 105.73. And then you're just a week or two away from reaching 92.97. It would be a settlement below 92.97 over the next couple of weeks that would then clearly signal 80.75 as the next 1 to 2 week target. And that is a formation that we consider a 1 to 2 month objective anyway, below 111.64. Working our way up today, if we happen to close above 113.45, any short position you establish, I think, should be exited, and you could consider reversing over the next 2 to 3 weeks into the mid to upper 120s. We have a descending 2/3 speed line at 125.09 and a 5/8 Fibonacci at 127.72. And so closing above 113.45 sets off a buy signal into the mid to upper 120s. Now, I would like to say that closing above 113.45, which would also be above 111.64 on the weekly chart, we've got a good low that could play out longer term. And that may actually wind up being the case. But in terms of going long and staying long, for you investors who are looking at the 3 to 5 month time horizon, for instance, it would be a settlement above the speed line 125.79, and I'm adding 127.72, the 5/8 Fibonacci. I think for the go long signal through the rest of the year, the upper 160s and climbing then likely within 3 to 5 months or so. But right now, the way I like to frame it is, we are bearish below 111.64 through the month of May, expecting the low 80s. The low 80s is a solid zone of long-term support, 2-year channel support that can be bought through the rest of the year. So there's your investment level support that you can buy into. Closing above 111.64 does only indicate at this point in time the mid to upper 120s. And that is the area, 125.79 up to 127.72, 5/8 Fibonacci, that if settled above should mark a good low for the year. But what could happen is we could close above 113.45, and within a couple of weeks we push into the mid to upper 120s, and then we fall away again as we move into June, July trade. That is a real possibility. But we may amend that in the coming week or two, depending on what we're seeing happening on the charts. But at this point in time, that's what we're comfortable articulating. Anything else to say? I don't think so. I think I've given you all the levels for the day and for the week. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Thursday's NVIDIA. By the way, on Tuesday, we put out a stock pick, wickedstocks.com did, on a Rubrik. That is an American-based cloud security and data management company. It's a large cap stock right on the edge of a meaningful buy signal that should pretty quickly, with present volatility, yield a 20% plus return within 3 to 5 weeks if that signal goes off. Earlier in the week, DoorDash, last week, Robinhood, Broadcom. You can see them all. They're all very relevant still by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial. You'll be able to see everything that we produce, including our daily SPY and Triple Q analysis. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Thursday's NVIDIA report. You have a great day.